Welcome back, ladies and gents, to CHON Waterslide Guitar Lesson Part 3. So in part 3 of this guitar lesson, we're starting off on the 52-second mark on the song. Right before that, we are simply repeating what we have learned in part 2, and in that time frame is when the variations come in the guitar. So first, we're going to start off with this section. So here we want to palm mute the first 3 notes in the sequence. We're going to be playing with our index finger on the 5 low E string, ring finger on the 7 of the A string, and our middle finger on the G string 6. From there we move on with our index finger to 4 on the high E string, and we hammer on from 4 to 7. So from there, once we hammer on that 7, we're going to slide up to 11 with our pinky. From that slide, we're going to then pull off from 11 to 9 and 7. So far we have this. From there, we're going to take a look at the following section. Here, after the pull off from 11, 9 to 7, we're going to then move on to the B string with our pinky 12, pull off 12 to 9 with our index finger on the 9. We leave our index finger in the same position, move it slightly upwards to reach the 9 on the G string, and then we're going to hammer on from 9 to 11, and then slide to 13. And from there, we're adding our middle finger to the B string 12. From there we have a familiar riff from part 2. Here we're basically pulling off 16, 14, 12 on the high E string, going to 16, 12 on the B, and then playing 14 on the G. From there we have our middle finger free, and we're going to palm mute 12 on the low E. Then we're going to string skip the A and D string and pull off 13, 11. And then we have the following section. From here we are hammering on from 11 to 14 on the A string, and on that downstroke we're sweeping downwards 13, 11, 12. From there we are simply alternate picking on the G string 14, 13, 11. Play 11 twice, then you add the 14 on the D string and let it ring out. From there we have the following section, which is from part 2. So if you want an in-depth explanation on that section, kind of to refresh, I will link part 2 in the description down below so that you can see that lesson. For now, we're simply going to jump straight to the variation. So once you play that familiar riff again, you're going to then start repeating the riff, just the first part. And here's where the variation comes in. So we're looking at the following section. So here we are going to be barring with our index finger on the 5th fret. We're playing 5 on the low E, and on the G string 6 with our middle finger, barring with our index finger 5 on the B string, and adding our pinky to 7 on the high E. And we're playing each note after each other. We're using our pick and the rest of our fingers to pluck the rest of the notes. From there, we're moving back to the bar on 4. We're playing 4 on the low E string, G and B. With our middle finger, we're then going to play 5, hammer onto 7, and slide to 9. So then we have the following section. And that will be the last part. So in this part, you're going to want to bar the 7th fretboard with your index finger, and we're going to be playing 7 on the low A string and G and B string. You're going to play it all together and then hammer on with your ring finger onto 9 on the B string. From there, with your pinky, you're going to play 9 on the high E, plucking it with your middle finger. With your middle finger, you then pluck 9 and 7 on the B. And you're going to want to let it ring out. From there, you leave your index finger in the same spot. You simply shift it downwards a little bit onto the D string 7. You add your middle finger to the low E9, your index finger to the G string 9, and your pinky to 9 on the B string. You're then going to play the notes on the low E and G string together first. Then pick 7 and 9, so 7 on the D and 9 on the B, back to 7. And then you're going to shift these two fingers, middle and ring finger, onto 8 on the same strings, but 1 fret below, and pick the same pattern. You release your pinky, you maintain the same kind of chord shape with your the rest of your fingers, and you shift it slightly lower, and then you have very easily the next chord in the sequence, which is 5 on the low E. You have a muted note or dead note on the A string, and then you have 4 on the D string and 6 on the G string. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that lesson. If you want to support my content, you can always subscribe. I'll see you all again in the next guitar lesson video.